All we have had from Franklin Delano Roosevelt and his so-called brain trust. Brain trust is a great deal of high-flown talk and virtually no action. In a nation racked by poverty, misery, and unemployment, it is deeds we want from the White House, not words. In short, Mr. President, if you are reading this, we've had enough of your fireside chats. Criticism, damn it. Nothing but criticism.
I know.
It's awful. Has anyone read the Washington Post this morning?
My friends, I say again, we have nothing to fear but fear itself. Frankly, you've already been elected. Every cloud has a silver lining. You're never fully dressed without a smile.
Oliver Warbucks in French.
Oh, thank you. Please show her in.
Oliver.
Oliver, good of you to have come.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Morning. Well, who is this we have here?
This is my good friend Annie.
Annie.
Yes, she so wanted to meet you that I couldn't resist bringing her along just to say hello.
Of course, the little girl who sang so beautifully on the radio last night.
Annie, this is President Roosevelt.
How do you do, President Roosevelt?
How do you do, Annie? Well, shall we begin?
Annie, if you'll just wait outside,
No, let Annie stay. Having a child on hand will keep us on our best behavior.
Annie, thank you, Mr. President.
Now, Oliver, since you speak for those happy few Americans who still have any money left, I'd like to begin with your views on matters.
Thank you, Mr. President. In the words of Calvin Coolidge, the business of this country is business. And for the good of you, this country, Wall Street, and me, we've got to get my factories back open and the workers back to work.
According to my latest figures, there are now 5 million people unemployed in America and nearly 50 million without any visible means of support.
Mr. President, if I may say so, unemployment is not our worst problem. The dispatches from Germany have become more and more disturbing each day. There could be war.
Well, Germany, hell. There are people starving in this country.
Harold, I know that, but in the long run, we're not.
Cordell, for those who are starving, there is no long
The
run.
trouble is it's all happening at once. The stock market has taken another nosedive.
Sit-down strikes and riots.
Floods and dust storms.
And the FBI still hasn't caught Al Capone. Well, gentlemen, at least we're agreed on one thing. The situation is hopeless and getting worse.
Henry, I'd like to see those figures.
The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottoms all
Little
over
girl,
tomorrow.
be quiet. No, Annie, what did you say? Go ahead. It's all right. It's still a free country.
Just thinking about tomorrow. Clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow. Till there's night. When I see that day that's gray and lonely, I just take a kind chin and grin and say,
Harold Hicks, stand up. What? You heard me. Stand up. Now, sing. Sing? Sing! Like Annie! I've decided that if my administration is going to be anything, it's going to be optimistic about the future of our country.
Franklin, you know that I can't sing.
Sing! Wow. Now then, tomorrow, there'll be sun. Just leave it on clouds. Tomorrow, it'll be the cobwebs and the snow. Tell me a novel for the president. stick up my chin and say, "Come on, it's tomorrow." The sun will out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. But one day, tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow, you're only a day away. Tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow, you're only a
Mr. President, a telegram.
Oh, thank you. Please excuse me. It's not for me, it's for you, Oliver. Hundreds of couples jamming street, outside house, all claiming to be Annie's parents.
Oh, boy!
Have begun to screen them, suggest you return to New York at once. Signed, Grace Farrell.
Well, it seems as though the Hour of Smiles has more listeners than we thought. Annie?
Gee, hundreds of couples? One of them is bound to be my mother and father.
Well, Oliver, I suspect you'd best be returning to New York
Yes.
immediately.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Annie? Mr. President? Annie?
Goodbye, everybody!
Bye, Annie. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Mr. President, and thank you.
Oh, no, thank you, Annie. You're the kind of person the president should have around him. Franklin, I have an idea. What we need to do is start 1,000 federal projects.
Yes, and
Yes, 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 and we'll hire the unemployed to build them.
we can build 5 million jobs within 6 months.
Absolutely.
We'll build a country so strong nobody, including Chancellor Hitler, could ever defeat us in a war.
What we need, Paul, is a new dedication, a new approach,
A new vision,
A new concept,
a new outlook,
a new horizon.
a new attitude.
a new deal.
Yes!
Gentlemen, I was right the first time. The only thing we have to fear is fear